Hello, hello, hello. We are live at 5 again. Is that okay? Was that good?
Yeah, it's working.
All right.
That's your intro? Are you good?
That was my intro.
Okay. Welcome in, everybody. How are you today? See, after years of listening to sports talk radio in New York, that's the opening. Good afternoon, everybody.
Oh, okay.
Remember Mike
Well,
and the Mad Dog? Yeah.
I know you listened or watched them. I didn't.
Yes. So what's up, everybody? We this week have a lot of detail talk about eBay. We have some other stuff that we forgot to show you from Vegas that we think is pretty cool. And Laurie has a lot. She didn't show me her notes. Believe it or not, there was some preparation going into this show. We don't wing it all the time.
Not all the time. Only when we have technical difficulties.
Oh.
And this week so far, so good.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So we have a guest already. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? That is the WFAN Mike and the Mad Dog intro that S lives in New Jersey and knows all very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Julie. This is good thing YouTube live chats don't cost any cell coverage or anything. We have Julie based out of Canada.
Hi, Julie. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Mm-hmm. Soulmates noticed my mug right here. Gotta love it. Thank you, Soulmates. And Grace hopped in. Hello, Grace. I saw Grace last week. It's been a long time since I saw
from Gracie from Colorado Springs?
Yes. Yeah, Gracie. That's so funny.
That's what it comes up on Instagram, I think, right? Okay.
Yeah.
She still has to claim her painting, right?
You mean this?
Uh-huh. So she needs to come up here and get it.
Here you go. Grace.
Hey, there's my face.
Oh, this is you. This is your. We're keeping this. Grace, this is for you. I have this next to his twin brother. All right. So I have this. I have this here waiting for you. Good. Thanks for hopping on, Grace. And I know she's been working very long. She told me. Mm-hmm. Yes, Laurie. Oh, yes. Coming soon. She'll be here to pick it up.
Cool.
So this afternoon, think about it. We were in Vegas 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago? Yeah. When we did a live. Mm-hmm. We're all happy, like winging it. Like, oh, we got a haul. We went to a flea market. Then we come back. Then we showed everyone how Vegas was, how crazy it was for us. And now we're getting back into the guts and the glory of eBay. So
guts and glory of eBay.
Take over. It's all you.
Well, when you take time off, most people have to take a complete break from shipping, sometimes even selling. Like they don't take sales while they're gone. They put their, account on vacation, not vacation mode anymore, time away. We didn't have to do that, thankfully, because we have employees and they work while we're not here. And that's awesome. It gives us such amount of freedom and whatnot, which is great. But that it's not always without a cost because we weren't here, and particularly Dave wasn't here, what he normally does kind of fell by the wayside because he wasn't here and we didn't have somebody actually picking up the slack in that one particular area. So we actually went 2 weeks, I believe, and this might be the first time in a long time, if not ever, that we went 2 weeks without having any new listings up. Now, we still try to do the relisting and that sort of thing, but that doesn't carry as much weight as true, real new listings. So our sales the last half of the month were just deplorable. I mean, they were just almost embarrassing. Actually, I'll share with the audience, and I won't go too detailed, too far into detail, but yesterday I counter track our sales every day on both accounts. And yesterday, Dave, this was the only day ever that I can remember that you did not sell one thing on your account. And I sold one. I mean, that's crazy. So that's what I was just I want to talk about, see how everybody else deals with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because it's something new for us. We really haven't dealt with this very much in the last 4 years. I was looking back to
Yeah.
our history of our sales and our ITR and all that. And it was just like clockwork, and just, I think there's a lot of things that could have caused that, but I think we're part of the problem. I think we're part of the issue why our sales haven't been as consistent, because we have not been as consistent doing what we need to do from the eBay standpoint. So, yeah. So that's that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tell me when to stop.
Keep on going. I mean, Julie just said it was super, all capitalized, super slow since Friday. I agree. We've never experienced this, and I always say this. I sound like a broken record, but at our peak last year, we had 4,000 all thrifted unique items on 2 accounts. 2,000 on each account. It's dropped probably down to, let's just say 3,400 or less.
35.
Okay, 3,500 right now. So as you could imagine, with 3,500 listings, you're going to sell a handful at least on each account per day. So that whole dopamine effect of cha-ching, oh yeah, you're this elevation of, yeah, this is great, has been going on. We've had that for 7 years. Like, at least I have, selling, where every day it's like, boom, yeah. I think over the last couple of days we were like, I don't know.
Yeah, but what it is that we had no new listings go up for 2 weeks straight. That's unusual. That's not typical for us. And over the last, I don't know, maybe a couple months, we haven't been listing as much as we have been selling. That's usually what you have to do to maintain. You have to list what you sell so you maintain. If that gets off, if that's not the same, if that becomes unequal, then it's not going to be good, because your overall inventory is going to eventually dwindle. So, I don't know. I mean, yeah, Soulmate says Halloween was a factor in the weekend sales trend. No, that's probably true. Whenever Halloween is like at the end of the weekend, it's like the whole weekend's Halloween. But everybody's busy doing other things. Yes, that could have been it. But we have seen, for us personally, it's not usually when, Dave will be like, is eBay broken today? You'll joke, I haven't gotten a sale for 4 hours or something like that. You remember?
Am I that nasty when I say
no,
that?
No.
Oh,
Sorry, I'm exaggerating.
No, but sometimes I feel like giving up. I really do. And we have, like Laurie said, we have 3,500 items. Those are 35 hooks with a bait on them in a pond waiting for a fish to bite, and nobody's biting. It makes you scratch your head and say, like, come on, really?
Right. And so I don't want to be all doom and gloom, especially for newer sellers.
No.
We have had such success on eBay since you started. Other people are selling fine, maybe not as much as they normally do. I mean, obviously outside forces will have an effect on people's habits. But I think that the secondary market is probably going to see a little bit of a bump, especially near the holidays, if people can't find what they normally want to find new. So they might go to, different types of, alternative gifts and things like that.
Yeah. That's a really good point.
Yeah. So, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but it could. So yeah.
Yeah. And we've been doing this for years. Like, Julie, is there a glitch? Maybe. I don't know. We don't know. And we will never be told that anyway.
Right.
There could be some factors going on. And just, like Julie said, it was a panic weekend. I was like, what did I do wrong? Joined a club for a little bit. I don't think it's anything our sellers are doing wrong. As long as you list regularly, you'll see some activity. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
So this comes right after Julie jumped on board with eBliss. Julie, it's all eBliss's fault. Sorry. Just kidding.
Hopefully not.
Just kidding. Please, time out. I'm just kidding. No, I'm sure Julie. I don't want to get into people's situations, but Julie's been selling for a while on eBay, eBay.com, and I'm sure she's seen some fluctuation. And it also comes down to what you're selling as well. So
True, we've all seen fluctuation, but what we haven't seen is it going in the one direction and not taking a turn the other direction at all. Like usually it's a little bit of a roller coaster. Lately it's not, it's just been downhill. You know what I mean? For us. So, but like I said, we didn't do our normal thing for 2 weeks. And now we have to work really hard to get back in that groove of the eBay groove for putting new listings out there.
Yeah. And this is a great tip. Y'all. Soulmates spelled y'all correctly. I spelled it wrong on Instagram, and people were DMing me saying, I could tell you're from New Jersey. You spelled y'all wrong.
Oh my God.
I did YA''LL, but Soulmates spelled it right. Now, I think y'all should start.
Don't try. Don't even.
I started with an accent.
I know.
I think you all should start stocking up now with all the product shortages. I totally agree. I think resellers are going to save Christmas this year.
It's very possible. I mean, I don't know what the hot toys are. I don't even know if they're available. I don't even know if they're on the shelves. I have no idea. All I know is that there's tons of resellers out there on eBay who have lots of inventory in their houses and in various places.
And this is just between us. Like, I was over in unit 4. We have a couple units within this warehouse, and one unit we totally devote to our reselling business. And I looked, and I think we have 40 to 50 Wii consoles.
Oh boy.
And controllers and power supplies. Okay, when you think of Christmas and gifts, you're thinking brand new inbox, but some people, it's a different time now.
Yeah.
Some people would be glad to let me get one of those. That's cool. That's cool to put under the tree. So I think Soulmates is right. People are going to be, as you said, Laura, earlier, they're going to be turning
they're going to look into
towards
the
eBay.
Secondary market for stuff. It's not going to be taboo to give somebody something used as a gift. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Heidi was mentioning, I think she's nearby in Colorado. They're tiny. They only have 570 current hooks in the eBay pond. 0 sales today, 3 yesterday, 8 on the 30th, 0 but October was our highest quantity. That's good. Second in dollar. And so you have 500 hooks in the pond. I always say 1,000 hooks is a nice magic number because it's easy to kind of,
do the math.
It's easy to do the math. And I believe there's something to getting to 1,000 where the volatility starts to level out. That's what I saw. But nowadays it's totally different. Now 1,000 could be like 2,000.
That's true. I don't know. The important thing I think there is to know what your, generally speaking, what is your inventory turnover rate? Because that number is going to determine what your bottom line is any given time based on your inventory levels. Yeah. So historically, the beginning of this year, ours was in the double digits, over 20%. Historically, ours have been 18 and a half. I don't even want to tell you what our ITR was last month. Actually, it was the same percentage as our return rate.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And that's never good. 10% or 11?
11. They were both 11.
Okay. I made a Instagram story post yesterday saying like, hey, at our peak, or we strive to be around 4,000 unique listings with an ITR of 20%. Now, a couple of people DM'd me like, what does ITR mean? Right. And that's inventory turnover rate, which is
as a whole, like over your entire inventory. And we track it based on items sold. So like based on the number of things you have in your inventory. And we also track it based on the amount sold. So like the dollar amount. And sometimes those numbers are pretty equal as a percentage, and sometimes they're off. But yeah, knowing what your ITR is, because this is why. If you want to scale your business, you want to grow, and you want to have a goal, and you want to say, I need a X amount of gross sales per month.
Yeah.
Knowing your ITR will say, okay, well, if I regularly sell, let's just say 10% of my inventory, and I need a certain amount of gross sales, then you can do that math and figure out how much inventory you need.
So ITR is also sell-through rate.
Right. We used to call it STR, but now we call it ITR.
Okay.
And it's not specifically to one category. That's what you have to remember. It's not, it's just a general overall, like, what do you have for sale? But you got to track that too. If you don't track that on a monthly basis, how are you ever going to know what your ITR is? So every Sunday, I track how many listings we have, how much in inventory those listings are. And every single Sunday, I keep track. So that at the beginning of the month, oh shoot, I was supposed to do that today.
It's not going anywhere. Don't worry.
I know, right? So that's how you can tell. Look, we had, $200,000 of inventory this month, and we sold $20,000. That your ITR, correct if I'm wrong, is 10%, right? I was never that great at math, but that's a 10% ITR. So if you track that over time, you can get a sense of what your ITR usually is. Right. And so if it dips or goes up, you have a sense of like, ooh, something's got to change. And in our case, something has to change.
Okay. My eyes started to glaze over. So I'm going to go right to the comments and say hello to Christy, her favorite duo. Hi, Bliss. Thank you so much.
Is that Christy from California? Maybe. I don't know.
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
And Roman popped in. Roman, he's a Browns fan, Cleveland Browns fan. I'm pretty sure he lives in Ohio. I think that's fair to say. I enjoy following him on Roman Landsberg on Instagram. He's got some good he's got a really cool social life. I think he went to a couple of Halloween parties over the weekend, but he also, it's fun to watch what other people source. He's got a good eye for things. Diane, hello, hiya. And Heidi was saying that the horrible turnover rate here overall, 558 sold with the 57 currently available. That's for the month. Oh, well, she said for 2021.
Oh, for the whole year.
Oh, okay. So she's not really. Yeah. Yes, it is Christy from Oceanside.
Welcome.
She looked at our post last night. She goes, I could do without the steaks, but instead of the steaks, just add some avocado into the caprese. And I was like,
ooh, that's a good idea. Oh yeah. That would make a regular meal. That would be a meal.
Yes. Roman, no problem. Enjoy watching you. It's so much fun because when you and I went on Philly Flipper with Paul, he has a loyal following on his YouTube. I mean, he was like cranking them out all the time. I don't know at the rate he's doing it now, but he's still really busy. Christy from California, I think you are onto something, Laurie. Hello.
I read that at first and I thought she said I was on something. I was like, oh no. But I'm onto something. I'm assuming, I don't know what she means, but I'm assuming she might mean about the ITR and all that.
No, I think you're onto something for her new name, Christy from California.
Oh, okay.
See, cool. The thing is, like, for example, Roman, I know his Instagram handle, whatever. But I know his first name. Christy, I know her on Instagram. It's like everybody has two names.
Right. That's true. Mostly.
I think if people saw us, like, they'd be like, hey, Bliss. I'd be like, hi. Hi. It's like, I think everybody has two names now.
Yeah.
Your Instagram and okay.
Unless you've made your Instagram name your actual name.
Yeah. And Grace just said, learn something about the ITR. I can't emphasize this enough. I was like, throw everything at the wall, whatever stuck on the wall. I was happy when it came to reselling. And then Laurie came on and helped out, and she loves the administrative, what would you want to call it? Operational
back end.
Yeah. Like you were into the numbers and monitoring because you're like, hey, we need to hit a certain number. I'm like, don't worry. Let's just source like crazy and list and it'll be there.
And I'm like, no, I need to see it. I
Yeah.
need to be able to track it.
And
I need to be able to prove. Well, because if you remember, this was when I first joined you, I was not 100% sure this was going to work. Like,
what?
no, I wasn't.
Now
Like,
you tell me. 5 years later. Okay, but it did.
no, meaning like I thought it could work, but like I had to see proof. And it had to be pretty quickly to see the proof. Like this couldn't go on for 3 years with just like whatever, type of thing.
Uh,
You know what I mean? So
right.
for me, it gives me comfort to see things in black and white like that.
Totally. I think it's like a huge gap from side hustle to full time for one person. And then you layer on if you're a household, like two spouses. I mean, think about it. Like
Yeah,
that's a
it was our
big,
only source of income.
yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, but I never told you my ace in the hole. I was going to go work at a Home Depot to supplement the
Oh
income.
no, I
I
don't
was
remember
like,
that.
I was like, okay. So I knew it was working for me because every month you'd be like, hey, I need like $3,000 or $4,000 or something like that.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, no problem. Here you go. Talk to you next month. Right.
Yeah, I
It's like,
barely saw you the whole month either.
I know. I'm just like, here you go. Don't ask where I got it from. Here you go. I'll see you in a month. I'm doing okay. I'm cranking along, and I was hustling. I was
You
Craigslist,
were absolutely hustling.
and I loved it. I loved it because it was like immediate. The gratification of like the transaction and all that stuff. But then, like Laurie shared, like she saw the potential there, and we both agreed. Come on, man. I didn't call her man, but I said, come on. I said that to myself. Come on, man. Let's make this happen. Seriously, make this happen. Don't sit back and wait. Like know your numbers. And like Christy, for example, Christy from California, also known as Be Green, Keep Her Clean on Instagram. She and we spoke at the Posh and Sip in Vegas. And we got it. I mean, we kind of got into the boring of the numbers and all that stuff. But this is what I was sharing out of passion with her. It's like the numbers don't lie. If you source well and you source things that are going to sell within 3 months, which is a 20% inventory turnover rate, you use that number and then you combine that with your average selling price and you blend that and you could determine what your gross sales will be for the month.
That's right. But only if you track it, you got to know what they are. And the great thing is eBay finally has it where it has the information is all right at your fingertips. If you only have one account to worry about on eBay, then it's very simple to get that information. We have to combine 2 accounts, so that's why I have to do it manually. But eBay is really, really good that way. They even tell you what your ASP is now, and for any time frame. So it's really, really good to have that there.
Yep. No, I understand. Roman's saying yes. Big Browns fan. He's from Cleveland. They lost yesterday to Steelers. That's a killer. At least you'll get them one more time this year. They're in the same division. Everybody plays each other twice. Angie's here, so we could start. Okay, ready? All right.
That's okay. I don't think she's missed a live yet.
She's diehard. And then Julie popped that. Joys of Canada, bad internet connection. So let's okay. While we're on this, Soulmates brings up a interesting question.
What do you think is more important, sell-through rate or profit margin? More important for what is the question?
Well, she may be. That's kind of like an interesting question because she could be like volume seller versus a little bit long tail and getting more higher margin for longer.
Sure. Those 2 things are both equally important to know. I don't think one is more important for success necessarily. Obviously, everybody wants a good profit margin because otherwise you're not putting very much in your pocket at the end of the day. But in terms of scaling, I think knowing what your ITR is more important than the profit margin to grow. Because without knowing how much you sell of your given inventory at any given time, you can't project out how much inventory you need to meet your goals. So, and if your ITR is fluctuating greatly every month, like it's high and then low and then high, something's
Yeah.
not quite right in your inventory, in my opinion. It should be kind of steady
I would
over
say,
time.
yeah, maybe a nice blend. Like you get some kind of bread and butter, call them replenishables in reselling. They call it almost
Right.
replenishables. Now, replenishables to most people means like new items. I'm going to sell a bunch of brand new tape dispensers for $15 and I could get them all day long and my margin's I'll net $3 on them. They like that. They like that
Right.
steady bread and butter. But
If you can
sometimes,
replenish them all the time.
yeah, which is very hard to do unless you're selling new items. I mean,
Right.
pre-owned to us,
Very hard to do that.
our bread and butter are,
Things that we see all the time that
yeah,
people discard all the time, like
yeah,
calculators and routers and things like that.
cameras, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a nice blend. It's a good question. I would say just get anything where you're going to make money. Our rule of thumb is whatever we purchase it for, we want to at least have that selling price on eBay be 3 times what we purchase it for. That's just our criteria, and that's because we have overhead, and then you factor in shipping and such. And based on our average selling price, that may not be the case. For example, Soulmates. I don't know what she sells, but let's just say she's selling high-end Louis Vuitton purses, and she's purchasing them for 300. I don't know if that's even close to being right.
I have no idea.
Okay, a brand new purse. She's buying them for 1,000, and she's able to sell them for 1,300, and she's able to flip them one every 4 months. That's awesome. I would say that's perfect. That's why all resellers are different. There's people say, "Oh, you got to buy pallets. You get away from buying used at thrift stores. Go get away from this." It's like it doesn't matter as long as at the end when that bottom number shakes out and you're bringing in X amount, whatever you need.
That's
That's
all
what
that matters.
That's
Yeah.
all that matters. So,
Yeah.
Roman says hi to Angie. Angie says we may begin now. You know, that was 20 minutes late, Angie, but she's busy.
That's okay.
Um,
We'll forgive her.
yeah, and Julie asked an interesting questions here. Question here. What she has a question. What are items that are not new with
Are,
tags? Are they
are
going to be?
items
Are they going to? Are items not new with tags going to be okay to sell during the fourth quarter? Because we're thinking holidays, gifts, brand new
right?
items.
I don't know. I'm thinking that if the stores are not stocked the way they normally are because there is lots of inventory not
Yeah,
there for whatever reason, then people may say, you know what? Let me think about something else to give as gifts, and they might turn to places like eBay and all these other places that we sell,
totally.
and say, you know what?
Yeah.
I can't buy new. I can't buy what I wanted to buy new, so I'm going to buy what they're going to like used, and that's just going to have to be good enough.
I think that Julie may have popped off or lost connection, but I was mentioning that about all these Nintendo Wii consoles we had. I mean, I have to get on top of that. I have to prep them, clean
You
them,
put them together in a set.
right, put a bundle together,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, you
they're
definitely need to get on that.
actually. I meant to tell you the prices went back up on them.
Oh,
They
really?
yeah they dipped down. Now they're popping back up. So I think just one console, bolo alert, a white Wii console you could sell just for $40, 40 to
Really?
50.
Just the console?
Yes.
Wait, what was the
Yes.
low point on that?
25, I
Oh,
think.
wow. Huh. Now,
Yeah.
do you have any idea what the sets are going for? Like, if you have everything that you need?
Um, yeah, probably, I'm doing the math, 80 to 90,
How many of those do we have sitting around?
40 to 50.
Well, we're gonna be busy for the next week.
Right. Ugh.
Seriously. I mean,
It never
that's
stops,
it.
but
That's it.
it
That's what we
never
gotta do.
stops. Yeah, but it doesn't feel like work though. It just feels like I'm being pulled in this direction and here and here. And this is from the reselling world. So, uh, and then, so, Roman says this holiday season, the best gift will be cheaper gas prices.
Can't disagree with that.
Just I would say go out there and buy as many 50-gallon drums as you can and buy low. I don't know if that's good, but we all wish. I'm telling Roman's a trip. He don't want to get too political, but his posts are hilarious. But Julie says, thanks, Laurie. That was her thinking that maybe this year used pre-owned would do better.
Yeah.
I agree. It's last year was an anomaly. We were most of us were spoiled.
Yes, things were exceptionally good last year.
Okay, so
yeah, so it's correcting itself.
Yeah, well, we sold. I didn't even know how many items we sold last year, and I said, like, didn't we sell close to 10,000? And you said, yeah, we did. Yeah. We sold 10,000 items last year.
Yeah, it was literally just a couple bucks shy of $500,000 in sales.
Gross sales, right? Mm-hmm. And do we put $500,000 in our pocket?
No.
Why not? Why not?
Because we're not doing everything ourselves, and eBay takes the cut, and there's shipping, and there's this, then there's that. Yeah.
Okay. We all know
So getting back to Soulmate's question about margins.
Yeah, let's not talk that.
Yeah, I mean, what you put in your pocket is what you are the only one who knows what you need to put in your pocket.
Yep.
So you have to work backwards from that final number.
Yes, you do. Yeah, and I think keep on feeding your brain this database that you have up here of items. The easy thing is to fall into the trap when you go sourcing and be like, I'm just going to blow through the aisles and look for my...
What I already know. My comfort zone.
I'm going to look for the Lego sets. I'm going to look for Fry boots. I'm going to look for a Dooney and Burke purse. How am I doing? Pretty good?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay. I'm trying to go across every category so I don't peg one person who's watching as, why are they talking about me?
We're not.
Yeah. Or Nike shoes and stuff. That's why it's like, flea markets and thrift stores, just start to look up new things. You may get a new category. So shared with you a couple of weeks ago, like certain items that we were selling regularly, like Apple TVs, we were selling them for $45. Now they're like $22. It's not even worth it. So I have to replenish something. I have to get rid of that. Same with the Rokus. I got to get rid of that and put something else in. So when I'm out there, you could plow through and pick stuff up. So
yeah, absolutely.
This is interesting. This is we personally don't get into this, but Angie's selling a lot of Thanksgiving and Christmas decor.
That's great. And I bet, and they say Christmas sells all year. That's what they say. It's what I hear.
And Halloween.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I see people picking up Halloween stuff in the spring at Goodwill, I feel bad for them. I'm like,
but they're going to, there must be okay with a long tail item.
Yeah.
And they know it's eventually going to sell.
I know, but you know what it is? That's why every reseller is different. I look at them and say, why? Ugh.
And they're probably looking at you saying, why?
Why did you pass on this Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin porcelain bank? Because I don't like it.
Hey, to each his own when it comes to reselling, that's for sure.
I know. Christy, here we go. A lot to live in Oceanside, California. Her number for gas monthly is $400. I know she drives an SUV, but she's at the beach quite often. Follow her on Instagram. You will feel like you could feel that ocean breeze coming off the ocean. Yes, Christy, California soon to get $20.
Let's hope not.
Yes, no. So, would you like to continue with your eBay chat since you prepared something so beautiful?
If you want me to, or you can do your hauls, or we can do that later.
I think let's get into you.
Okay. All right. Well, there are a couple. The one segment that I wanted to kind of in my head for these lives, I wanted to kind of be like what I learned about eBay this week, because you always learn something new. You can at least always learn something new. And this week, I just wanted to share a couple things that came up, and they may not even apply to everybody, but they probably apply to our clients. So I did want to mention it. eBay recently changed the way you can reschedule scheduled listings in bulk. So that means previously, if you wanted to update scheduled listings in bulk, you would select them all and you would go to the field, and there was a start time field. Well, that field is no longer there. And I almost had a heart attack the other day when I was trying to do this for a client. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are they doing? They're going to take away scheduled listings. I was like panicking. I chatted with the eBay concierge, and she said, oh, well, if you click it and that you click actions, there's a action button underneath actions that says reschedule. But I don't remember eBay telling us about this. I mean, I did miss the last seller check-in. Maybe they mentioned it. I don't know. If anybody knows, you know.
Nerd alert!
What is that?
You can let me know.
Nerd alert!
Did you put that up there?
Somebody did.
Not me.
Any rate, I just wanted to mention that because you might have not realized that they changed it up. eBay has a habit of doing that. They just change things without telling you, and it was like just fine the way it was, but then they make it a different way. Now you got to get used to that new way. So that's what happened with rescheduling scheduled listings. So especially for our clients, I want to make sure you guys knew about that. The other thing that we noticed this week was that, and this happened to us actually, because our sales were so low, that we normally have our shipping labels paid for by the payouts, right? On managed payments, you have two choices, payouts or PayPal. So we're doing it on payouts right now. And all of a sudden I start getting notifications that it's been hitting the credit card instead, which means it's going to PayPal. And so I was like, okay, I understand, whatever. But the thing is, I don't believe it automatically goes back to what you preferred after it changes. So you have to be aware that the next time you go to create a label that you have to switch it back, because otherwise it just doesn't automatically go back. I'm pretty sure of that. So that was happening also with some of our clients, and we just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. The other tip here too is make sure your PayPal account is set up the way you want it to be set up with regard to if it does get hit for shipping labels or return or any of these things that could happen if you don't have enough in your payout amount. And that when I say that is another, I know you're going to press the button soon, Dave, but I'll just keep going real quick.
Nerd alert!
Just because.
Nerd alert!
Oh, I didn't mean to do that twice. I apologize.
Okay.
You're doing a great job. Let me get this. This is a distraction.
Okay.
You deserve better.
As I was saying, PayPal, most people, now that they went on managed payments, don't really use PayPal anymore. Don't really put money in there. There's usually not much of a balance. So, and it's really cumbersome to put money in there. It takes like a week. So I wouldn't recommend that. But what you should do is make sure whatever card or account is attached to your eBay shipping labels agreement. It's not just your backup payment source for PayPal. Okay. Make sure that is connected to the correct account, whether it's your business account or a credit card that you want to use. So that if there's ever any time when there's not enough in your eBay payouts, it'll hit that card and you won't be surprised unnecessarily. I just read actually on a Facebook group that somebody, and this was coming to my next point, somebody was docked, I think she said like, I don't know, $1,400 from her bank account because of a FedEx label. Now, something didn't sound right there, but still, these are the kind of surprises you don't want, especially when it comes to your checking account. Right. So we try not to have it attached to a checking account because that's cash that you need for other things. So I have it put to a credit card, which if it, goes unnecessarily, it's not a big deal. So that's what I wanted to mention about that. Should I stop? I know I've been rambling. I'm sorry.
No, people, they love it.
Oh, okay. Well, you got something up there, so I didn't know if you wanted me to.
Oh, no. I was just, people they agree. Like, it's like Heidi was just saying, she really dislikes the changings. That kills all the data in your listings. And suddenly you have hundreds of item details to re-update. And then, Julie was just saying now she knows for PayPal, thanks to Laurie.
Yeah. I mean,
let's
that
be real
that whole
here.
pay.
Sorry, we have
You
to
know,
go back to this.
you
This,
can just play it. You don't have to show it, I think.
Nerd alert!
let me play it one more time. This is a compliment, Laura. You know that people look at you. I say this all the time. You were the A student. I was not.
I know.
And we're envious.
What can I say? What can I say? I do live for this stuff, and this is why this works out so well, because I don't love sourcing. I am a reseller who doesn't love sourcing.
That's true.
I'm glad to be back here doing all this stuff all the time. It's what I'm good at, and hopefully it's helpful.
And you know what? You're the best looking nerd I ever seen. But it's 26 years of marriage.
He's making me blush.
I know, but you laugh. All right. But let's get serious. Like, I like the sourcing, like Laurie says. I like going out there, networking, forming relationships with people, and knowing that the inventory, it's there if we need to dial it up. She does not. We did go to Vegas 2 weeks ago to a flea market. I wish I had a GoPro.
On me or you?
You. No, on me, focusing.
Looking on me, yeah, right.
Yeah. I give you credit. You're not the type of person to be like, I'm not doing that. No. And just like walk away and go get kettle corn and call it a day. He did that once or twice in Phoenix, really, but it was 110 degrees. Yeah. I was like, no problem. But so we were in Vegas. It was beautiful, right? And we went to this one booth. Now, this one booth, I remember I was there 2 years ago, and I remember this guy. He had good stuff, and he knew he had good stuff. Mm-hmm. He looked it all up. He knows. And when people say like, "Hey, I got good stuff for you for eBay,"
yeah, exactly. He said that to me. I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks." And he was right. I mean, his stuff was like, "Whoa, I like this. Even if it doesn't work, I like it." And so we made a pile, and he gave me a number that was way too high. Like we had nothing left in it. Like if we had bought it for that amount on those items alone, we would not have made any money. The problem is we didn't know like half an hour later that you were going to get such a great deal on those shoes, and it would balance it all out. So now it kind of, yeah. Anyway,
I know, but so Laurie, and this is the thing, at the flea market, you see a couple good things like, right, I'm going to make a pile. Now, number one, like when you make a pile at a flea market, you're demonstrating that you're a serious buyer. You're not going up to the guy, hey buddy, what do you got on this? I'm asking 40. Oh, would you take 12? I mean, don't do that, please. Don't do that. It's insulting, and it makes my toes curl just being near people like that.
Right.
I'm just like, ooh, okay. Enough of my rant. But you were good. You were like, I started this pile. I said, you know what? You take over. You finish, what we got going. Finish what I started, just like Van Halen.
And I even asked him if he could do any better, and he said no.
I know. Well, so you had 6 items that were probably ASP $50 each on average. Let's just average it.
Probably higher.
Okay, so maybe whatever. So it was like 400-ish, 400 to 500 in eBay value. You make a pile, and he says, and you said, what price? And he said, what, 230?
He said 220 or something like that. And I'm like, and I'm in my mind thinking, if he had said 175, maybe I would have said, okay. The problem is these people think everything works. They think, they look at eBay and they look at sold, and they're comparing what they have to the best possible example of what's on there. And I'm looking at it like the worst possible case scenario. Like if this doesn't work, I can sell it for only $100. If it works, oh my gosh, it's $300.
Okay.
But I'm not going to bank on that, because if it doesn't work, now I'm like, didn't make any, like I paid way too much for it. That's why I was just like,
but if you would have said, hey dude, I live in Colorado, I'm out of here. I'm not going to be back for 2 years. If some of this stuff is not working, see, and that's the thing. Like I don't think to say that. I don't even think. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's not who we are. So it's like, you know what? If you don't budge, then we know.
I guess we could have gone back after you bought those shoes. and
we
been like,
weren't.
okay, now,
Yeah,
but
but we weren't really that desperate. Like, we were
no.
just like, you know what? Let's go to Posh and Sip and see our favorite frugal
Fashionista.
fashionista right there. So we had Posh and Sip on our mind with
And I
the
had
name.
jewelry on my mind because that's what I was buying.
Oh, right. That's right. After that guy, you're like, I need to get some bling for Posh and Sip and Red Carpet Boss Reseller Remix. I'm like, no problem. So we kind of split up, and then I find all these Neiman Marcus men's shoes. Uh, yeah, that's why we love reselling. It's so awesome. Julie says Dave likes sourcing. Nah, she knows me. She sees the stories.
Anybody knows him, has seen him at the bins, knows that's not true.
Yes. And Patrick showed up, so we're good for another hour now that he's here.
Oh boy. Okay.
No,
We're almost
I know.
done. Wow, that hour went by fast. I didn't even get through all my thoughts. I'll keep them for next week, I guess.
And Patrick says I agree, Dave, both in retail and reseller realm. What can we do on this for one item? For one item? Yeah, you could keep on shopping and make a pile. Then we can talk. So,
Right.
And then Heidi, yep, don't work and no returns, loss. That's so true. That's so true because we never go back, even locally. Like I never go back to somebody and be like, hey man, that thing I bought for $40. I was hoping to sell for 150. Doesn't work. I just eat it and move on.
Yep.
It's all about relationships. But what'd you think of that flea market, Vegas?
It was I think I liked it more than the Phoenix one.
Okay.
I thought the Phoenix one has one great stall
Right.
that we make out really well. But as far as like walking around and looking at different things, I thought the Vegas one was a little bit better. Plus, I've never been to Phoenix when it wasn't 110 degrees. So
I still don't know what to make of Phoenix. I am so torn. We've been there 3 times together, I believe.
At least 2.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I forget. Yeah.
It was definitely 3. But June, September, and then
that's right. I forgot about June. Yeah.
Every time we've been there, it's been in May. It was nice, but I want to like Phoenix for some reason. I just want to kind of have some kind of whatever the word is. Not I don't want to love it, but I just want to appreciate it. And it's like, can't do it. It's just nothing about it is really making me.
There's certain parts, certain months. I'm sure it's wonderful. It's fabulous.
Yes.
So.
Like this month. It's 35 degrees out. I'm freezing.
I know it's cold today here. Just cold and overcast, which is unusual for Colorado. It's actually 2 days in a row. That's even more unusual.
I went like this 2 days in a row, but this is Patrick's symbol. Oh. Hey, Patrick. 2 days in a row, overcast. I made a story yesterday. Like, I love it. It was like, this is like football. I know this is football.
You always used to like that. Even in New Jersey, we call those New Jersey days.
Yeah.
Here.
Days like that remind me of growing up as a kid, and you after playing outside for 3 hours, you go home and your cheeks are like frozen. Did that ever happen to you, or you were inside playing?
Probably did not play outside as much as you did when it was cold.
Yeah. Angie's like, I make a pile at garage sales, but most times they charge every little penny. Ma'am, your total is $22.35.
Wow.
Right. And
well, there's a garage seller for every type of reseller, I guess. Oh.
Never, Patrick, never. I have to go back and watch some of his YouTube. He had one. He was going flea market and somewhere. A comic book place, I believe. 40 in Iowa. 40 and cloudy and overcast is like 30. Out here, 40 and it's sunny. It's like 50. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
All right.
We don't want to be with, no, not at all.
Julie is.
She's very north in Canada. So.
Like, how many hours north of Montreal? 3, 4?
I forget, but she's up there. It's a -11. I mean, that's cold.
I know.
And it's only November 1st.
I know. now called come March 35 shorts weather. That's true. We get used to it in Colorado. It's like the initial shock and the change.
That's true.
It's rough.
We'll probably be wearing shorts at some point this month.
Yeah. See, 34 in Cleveland is like that's a Browns fan right there. But yeah, so we don't have to really get into too much of your eBay stuff, but we do want to talk about everyone in this room. You want to bring up the Denver meetup thing?
Yes, right.
This is actually pretty important and an invitation to everyone in the room to check this out.
Right. As you may or may not know, Dave and I coordinate the Denver eBay Meetup group, which is an official group that meets and talks about eBay. Our particular group only talks about eBay, but some other ones do include other platforms, and it's more of an e-commerce selling thing, but ours is only eBay. It has been in existence for many, many years. We only took it over a couple years ago, but we are excited because we have actually 2 meetups this week. The first one is a Zoom meetup, and that is Wednesday night, 5:00 Mountain Time. And we are so excited to have a growth advisor from eBay. His name is Jared Hooker. He's going to be on the Zoom, and he's going to go into depth about the new promoted listing advance, which if you're like me, I believe it or not, the nerd that I am, I didn't get it. I did not understand. I was going to set up a campaign. I went to do it, and I'm like, I was lost. So he went over it with me personally and showed me how to do it, showed me who it's good for. And also the automated promoted listings, which is something I wasn't even aware that we had available. And we actually might try that out because it might, or at this point I have to try anything. So he's going to go over that. And he's also going to explain to us the listing quality report that eBay has. And use an actual example of a volunteer who's on the Zoom call. So one of the attendees is going to be able to have their account, that listing report reviewed live. Now, that's all great, but it gets better. There's more. After the fact, he actually wants to follow up with all the attendees personally to go over their accounts to see how you can make better, to do the promoted listings if you don't understand it, how you can increase sales doing that. His whole purpose of being at eBay is to help sellers grow. So, and you can't really take advantage of that specifically this way unless you're on the Zoom, because you would have to give us your account information and he will follow up you directly at another time. So that's the first one. So you are all invited to join us on that. And actually, I do have the link right here. If
I had it in the banner.
Okay, well, I'm going to put it in the comments so that it's an actual link. I think that might make more sense because then you could. There is more. Hold on.
Did you say that? But wait, there's more.
I think I did. Okay, so there's the link for the Zoom meetup. I believe it's a Zoom. Yeah, it's the actual thing. You might have to join our meetup in order to get to RSVP. Yeah. But please, if you want to join us, you are more than welcome to. It's not, the Zoom meetups are not restricted to just people in Denver. Yeah. Now, obviously, if you're not close by and we have an in-person meeting, you know, that might be a little difficult. But on Saturday, the 6th, we're also doing an in-person meetup at our warehouse. That's also noted on our meetup page there. And we're doing sort of like a reseller show and tell. So we're asking everybody to bring a couple bolos or, you know, kind of cool things that they found or sold, or, well, I guess if you sold it, you don't have it, or, you know, that you have for sale, and share, you know, to be able to, you know, just share things that you are, because we don't know stuff about other categories and vice versa. And it's always good to learn. So if you're in if you're in Colorado, please come to that on Saturday.
Angie thinks we're going to fly her out.
Oh boy. Maybe not this time, Angie.
Route 80 all the way, baby.
I was not that far.
I know, 80 to 76. Nah, that's 13, 14.
Yeah.
But Heidi was saying it's hard to copy and paste from the banner, but
yeah, no, that's why I put it in the comments.
Okay.
I think you can put it in the comments.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you know, just to summarize it, so that's Wednesday.
Wednesday is the Zoom. Saturday is the in-person meetup.
Now, real quick, like when we went to eBay Open in 2018 and 2019, they had a section called Biz Boost,
Mm-hmm.
and you had to make a reservation to meet for 15 minutes
Mm-hmm.
with an eBay employee one-on-one. It's like these little cubicles, all secretive and whatnot. You go in, they're like, okay, and what's your store name? They bring it up, and they're like, and they went through your account, and they did give some very good tips.
Very good insight. And it's not information that you would be able to easily see yourself. It's like all back room or back end eBay stuff. And this is the same department that does that. That's going to be at this Zoom.
Oh,
so I just think it's, I mean, as much as we rag on eBay all the time, you know, they're not perfect and everything, but being in a position of leadership to some degree there, we can see that they really do try to give sellers what they, at least to support them the best they can. I mean, like I said, they're not perfect, and I'm sure there's horror stories here and there but they understand that sellers are the lifeblood of their business, and they do put effort into cultivating that part of it.
They really do. And like if Joe Smith calls up eBay and be like, you understand I've been with you for 20 years, and that's going to fall on deaf ears. They have such a filter system where to get to, someone who really can make a difference, it takes connections. And now, like Laurie was saying, we don't have a ton, but we are a liaison. And not just us. These are any eBay Meetup coordinator is a liaison. So I would strongly suggest, I don't care. I mean, we don't get anything for it. I'm just saying, I think get over the paranoia. Like I was always paranoid. I don't want to join the Denver eBay Meetup group because I'm going to see everybody that I'm afraid of and paranoid, and they're going to find out all my secrets. And that's not the case at all. I was my own worst enemy when it came to that.
Yes,
so, but because, and whoever, the couple that was running it prior to us, they were phasing out of selling on eBay anyway. So they're like, oh, would you want to? And Laurie's like, definitely. And I'm like, you nuts? What are you, crazy? I'm like, are you? Oh, I'm like, but this is opposites complement each other. And I always say Brian Burke, who works at eBay and is responsible for seller engagement and relations, did say that, opposites complement each other. And I'm glad we did, because it really helped us as eBay resellers to feel confident in the platform, understand that if we personally had an issue, we could maybe give somebody an email, shoot somebody an email, but I don't think we do. I think that's self-serving. Like we wouldn't do that. But if there are people within the group that have an issue, it's like, hey, we could reach out and be like, hey, one of our members is experiencing this. Can you help us or enlighten us? They're
depending on the severity, but So, but we like helping sellers. I mean, we wouldn't be doing this if we didn't want to help other sellers.
And it's not like eBay. Even though we are strictly just on eBay, we plan on going on Poshmark just to branch out, because we do have a lot of fashion and stuff we have to get. We should get listed, and it's a little bit easier to do on other platforms. I'm not going to lie. So, but we are mainly eBay through and through. So check that out on Wednesday. You could join the meetup. The link's right there. Really cool. And then Angie, if you want to fly out for our in-person Saturday show and tell, just kidding. I think that's kind of cool too. I think the show and tell is fun. I know.
I don't want to. What? No. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's about it.
Well, I was just going to say this is a slight teaser, and nothing's written in stone, but we are planning a little something special for December. That's going to hopefully be a combined meetup with the Colorado Springs group, which is down there too.
Yeah, right.
We did this 2 years ago. It was a lot of fun, and we're hoping that we might be joined by some eBay. I want to say executives, eBay personnel. I don't know what
they're. Let's put it this way: these are people that, if you attended eBay Open virtually this year, you saw them.
Maybe
How's that as a
nothing in
teaser?
stone. We're working on it. That's the plan, but hopefully we'll be able to put something together. No dates or times yet, but yeah.
Shameless plug teaser, Patrick. No shameless plug teaser with Patrick, but he does YouTube. He goes return to the bin store. He's not keen on going to the bins too much, so it takes a lot. So that should be fun to watch on his YouTube. And Julie says you guys are truly generous of your time. Hey, we're just normal people that have a passion and we enjoy reselling. And I said it, we shared with somebody earlier, we have just a passion for reselling because of the freedom that it allowed us to have. Look at us. I mean, 5 o'clock on an afternoon. This is as crazy as it gets for us. Well, I'll sign up for that any day. And of course, 0 sales yesterday. I'll sign up for that.
Never. Nobody ever said that. Never.
So, but it is close to 6 o'clock, and we want to be respectful for everybody's time. There's a lot of good YouTubes to go out there, YouTube lives to watch. I don't know of any tonight, but thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much, everyone. Just subscribe and hit the bell. I sound like a typical YouTuber, but we do this and just share real quick. We do this really just to help people and to build a mini community like this, which was fun, this chat. So if there's anyone else that, we could help, have them follow us. We're all about that. We just want to help other people. So thank you guys.
Thanks for being here.
Roman, thanks for popping in. Patrick, Julie, and everybody above. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And have a good night.
Thank you. See you next week. Are you ending it or